Hello?
Jan? What a relief. We thought we'd lost you.
Yeah, so did I. The base got caught in a huge sandstorm. And I lost part of my crew.
What? Your altars? How could you let that happen?
Simple. I let you sweet-talk me into all that biological vessel business. Unfortunately, they had a problem with it. So, they decided to go their own way.
You mean they ran away? And they're exposed to radiation?
They took the exploration vehicle. And some supplies.
Tell me not all of them left?
No. Why?
The ship is close, Jan. You have to be ready for the arrival of the rescue team.
Ready? How?
They can't find out about your altars.
What? Wait a minute. Aren't you the head of mining operations? Aren't these your people?
They might answer to me, but their paychecks are signed by Ally Corp. And if you confront them with your altars, they will have...
Oh man, they fucked me over.
have to react. The board will not tolerate anything that could cast even the slightest shadow on the legitimacy of this operation. And the rescue team is on their leash. Do I have to spell it out to you? They will have your altars killed.
What? Killed? What kind of a rescue team are they?
They're a special ops unit. Military men.
You could have told me earlier.
Please, Jan. You always knew their primary mission was to escort the most precious cargo mankind has ever seen. Did you really expect them to arrive unarmed?
So you lied to me. That you'd prepare them.
I told you I'd test the waters, and that's what I did. But there is a lot of pressure on your success, Jan.
Oh man.
A lot of anxiety amongst the top management. They can sense the vultures hovering around them, waiting for any sign of a slip-up. And they won't let them smell blood. They won't expose themselves.
So what exactly is your plan?
The rescue team will arrive shortly before sunrise. You have time until then to come up with a way to smuggle your altars on board. In the meantime, You need to keep collecting rubidium.
Yeah, sure. Once we take off, what happens then?
You will all go into cryosleep. And as the ship approaches Earth, Lucas will take remote control over it and modify the coordinates. The ship will land in a secluded location I've been preparing.
And what about the crew?
They'll be in cryosleep during the landing. And by the time they wake up, we will be far away. I have a lab ready, and a guarantee of immunity from people who understand. I'm moving operations to a more science-friendly region, somewhere Ally Corp won't get to us. And, most importantly, where nobody will ever find your altars.
You're putting them in a lab?
I won't sugarcoat it. We've come too far together for that. If you wanted to hate me, I probably gave you enough reasons by now. Truth is, when I first heard about you, your situation, well, I'd be lying if I said it all came together immediately. On the contrary, I didn't hope for much. An accidental castaway with no qualifications, all alone, burdened with such a responsible task. But when Lucas told me you did it, you created your altar and managed to convince him to cooperate with you, I couldn't help but fantasize about where this could go. Can you see? I've been waiting for something like this ever since they shut down Project Ela.
Yeah, about that. I heard some disturbing things about your experiments. Is it true your patients... well, that they lost their minds?
Of course. That was the whole point. They were losing their old dysfunctional identity to gain a new, sound one. Whoever told you this must have heard some scraps of information and didn't have a full understanding of what we were doing. Yes, they were unorthodox things, but it was always about making people better. Project Ela was my whole life, Jan. Why would I devote myself to something harmful?
You never stopped dreaming about reviving it.
You wouldn't be so surprised if you knew what we could achieve.
Lucas told me you wanted to help war veterans, patients with PTSD.
Yes, that was the initial scope. But we could have done so much more. But take, for example, the possibilities of re-socializing criminals by altering the experiences that led to their corruption. But why not go even further? Why should we limit ourselves to thinking only about altering the past? Why not be able to influence the future?
What? How?
The Tree of Life. You've seen yours, but it's just a projection, a rudimentary interface. Think about it. What if it was no interface, but an integrated part of the human mind, allowing us to live our lives exactly the way we should?
The way we should? What? You mean, make the right decisions?
Exactly. The human cognitive system enhanced in a way evolution failed to do in millions of years.
I tried to do something like that. Using your upgrade, I tried to alter myself into someone who always makes the right decisions.
And? What happened?
I realized it's more complicated than that. That what I thought were bad choices can objectively be good ones.
Exactly. This is where the real breakthrough should happen. We have to be able to define a choice as good or bad by an objective, quantum-calculated analysis of its outcome in an instant.
Wow, that's amazing.
More than that. Imagine a world where nobody ever takes the wrong turn. Children are never harmed. There are no court misrulings because there is no crime. Can you see now why your success meant so much to me? Do you not understand that giving Rapidium away for any other purpose would mean robbing humanity of its biggest evolutionary leap since we crawled out of the primordial soup? Do you still think there is a better purpose for your altars than to contribute to all that?
I'm not their owner. They're people in their own rights. I can't decide their fate for them.
That's very noble. But in a way, you've already done that when you created them. Look, all I'm asking is several weeks in a lab where I can run some tests on them, collect data, and prepare for the bigger leap.
And then what? Let them walk free?
You know I can't do that. It would be too risky for both of us and for them. But I could guarantee them a comfortable life. They would be hidden from the eyes of the world.
Imprisoned.
The only alternative for them is to be disposed of by the corporation, like waste. I think you need to take a breath. There's a lot to think about. How to smuggle your altars aboard that ship, for one. But first, you have to guide their navigator to your exact position. They'll need you to mark the spot with a beacon. Start with that, and then I trust you'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah. Sure. By the way, I wasn't an accidental survivor.
What do you mean?
The quantum computer chose me. Seems I was the one who had the biggest chance of making it.
Well, doesn't that just prove my point? We are capable of so much more than we think, Jan. All we need to do is open the door and let that potential in. You'll hear from me again before the ship lands. Good luck, Jan.
Some minerals.
Would you like me to address that? Tire tracks. It must be the Tur vehicle. At least I know which way they went. are shaped like trees. What are they really? Happening to me.
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
almost made it. How are you doing? I'm trying not to think about it. Focus on the job. I almost envy those bastards that ran away. At least they know the shit that's gonna hit them. Or maybe... I just wish we were all together in this, you know? How was your time alone? Any thoughts? Yeah, it was a complete waste of time. All I could think of was the work I could be doing instead. Why the hell did you send me there? There's nothing wrong with me. On the contrary, I've never been better. Why don't you just let me do my thing? Because I'm worried for you. You want me to treat you like a mining machine. I thought a rest would clear your mind, get you out of that mindset. I'm not a kid. I would have literally died of boredom in there if it weren't for that goddamn audiobook. What audiobook? Oh, some ancient babble about a whaling expedition. What the hell do I care? It was that, cheesy romances, or a fantasy saga. Man, I hate fantasy. So, I chose the whaling one. At least the men were men there. And their captain, Ahab, well, he was missing a leg, so... Yeah, I gotta admit I got pretty hooked. Do you identify with him? Man, all I said was that it got slightly more interesting. If you want to open up a book club, go ahead. I'll pass and go back to my work if you don't mind.
My floor is to create more people. Alright, looks like I can create one more. Work is going to be a kind of a problem.
I thought you'd like to know that I ran into a completely new kind of anomaly. First thing that came to my mind was that it's some sort of a prism distortion. Really? What gave you that thought? Well, it behaved as if the reality around me suddenly split up into many different fragments. Wise of you to bring it to me. Any observations on interaction? Well, it didn't seem to do anything specific to me physically. No radiation. But it sure was messing with my brain. Felt as if I was in several different places at once. In a way, you might have been. Huh? You mean? Remember how I told you that anomalies are places where our world intersects with the integral? Well, what you're describing suggests a distortion in which it comes into contact with not one, but many proximity planes. Entering it is likely to evoke a sensation of being in several parallel realities at the same time. Calling it a prism is accurate, because it refracts your consciousness into many simultaneous states. Neat. Who needs altering, huh? Take it easy. It's just a sensation. You'd best not spend too much time inside them. Plus, I suppose it must make exploration very inconvenient. Can I destroy them like the others? It should be possible. You just need to locate all of its cores and take them down one by one. All right. Thanks for the tip. I hate not knowing what someone is plotting behind my back. Hey there. Time to wake up. Don't be freaked out, okay? Everything's fine. Yeah, of course. Right. So, where do you think you are? Well, looks like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And not. Well, it's a mining mission. Remember signing up for that? Getting on board the ship? Going into cryosleep? Yes, I do. But why do I feel as if I'm looking in a distorted mirror? Are you? Me? Is this some kind of metaphysical experience? In a way, you could say that. But before we get into it, I need to ask you some routine questions. You know who you are? Sound question. A lifetime isn't enough to find the answer. Look, it's not a test. Stating your name and role on this mission will be enough. Okay. In that case, my name is Jan Dolsky. I volunteered to join the crew as a physician. I passed all the tests. They told me my resume was adequate. So, what went wrong? I'll be honest with you, a lot of things went wrong. This will sound disturbing, but my name is Jan Dolsky, too. I'm the one who went on this mission, but things got complicated and I needed help. So, I decided to create alternative versions of myself with different memories of their lives, different skills, and you're one of them. What? Wait, does that mean yeah, you're my alter. But my life, I was supposed to. I wanted to make amends. And you can still do that, believe me. Plenty of good deeds to be done here. You don't understand. I need to fix things. Everything's connected. My scars, the blisters on my hands. Wow. They're so impeccable. And my tattoo, it's gone. What happened to me? Who am I? Calm down, please. I know this is a lot to process, but it might help you to know that you're not the first to be going through this. Talking to the others might help you understand it all better. Take your time. Try to settle in gradually. Read the mission logs. Mission logs. I'm not dead, right? This isn't it. No, man. Your life has just begun. Huh. The absurd man says yes, and his efforts will henceforth be unceasing. Come again? Just a quote that came to me from, Never mind. Just get some rest.
It's all well and good you saying that.
Did you manage to listen to that book some more? Huh. So you remembered. That Captain Ahab, he's hunting a whale that bit off his leg. He's got a prosthetic leg, mind you, not too advanced, but still, his crew respects him. All the other guys just want to catch a whale, any whale, and bring the money home. But Ahab, he's only interested in the whale, taking his goddamn ship all around the world to hunt down the son of a bitch. Sounds like you admire him. You and your fucking theories. I'm simply curious if he's gonna catch that whale. Nothing more.
Okay, I got some. I really need to free those, get those other guys out of the rebel camp, or I'm not gonna make it.
The evacuation procedure.
Detectors and cargo left. Maneuvering here must have been a nightmare. rely on me to take care of that?
go to the main. Have to go loop around, but that's going to take forever. And I really should be focusing on getting those people out.
Packed a lot of stuff.
See where they went. Die here again.
Seriously, what was he thinking, leaving the base like that? Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Is that the ball from the Titan Tigers game? That's right. I knew you'd be excited. Yeah. So many good memories linked to this one. Yeah. They scored the last goal of the season with that ball, after everyone wrote them off. Maybe it's a sign that we can make it as well. Thanks. And? Did you find out if Ahab managed to catch his whale? He sure fucking tried. But he failed, drowned, took his whole crew down with him. The monster got the best of him.
He doesn't like to talk about feelings, so...
Good. I was rooting for the whale. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how those writers do it, but when you get to the end, it almost feels like you always knew it was gonna be that way. Huh? Like it was obvious all along they wouldn't get him. Man. I just hope it's not gonna be like that with us in Rapidium. It's gonna be different. You know why? Because we're doing it for others, not ourselves. We're not obsessed. We're just determined. Huh. So, is that what you think makes the difference? Caring about others? No. You become obsessed when you stop thinking clearly and let your emotions get the better of you. Yeah. And now that I think of it, maybe that Ahab guy wasn't thinking clearly. 'Cause he just couldn't get over what crippled him. Messed him up as a man, yeah. Like the last thing he'd ever admit to was being a loser. Look where that got him. Yeah. Well, it didn't do me no harm, that distraction. Funny thing, that whole story made me realize something that never occurred to me before. Oh, yeah? What's that? That it's, no shame to be weak. Okay. Now, I think it's time I got back to work. But I won't be obsessing about it anymore if that's okay with you. Wouldn't want to end up like Ahab. Jan, find some time for me? You wanted to talk about something? Yeah. Thanks for checking up on me. I know you're dealing with a lot. Yeah, so, why don't you cut to the chase already? Sure, yeah, it's not that easy to say. I'm not used to doing so much thinking as I've been doing lately. Just tell me what it is you want. It's gonna make things easier for both of us. Yeah, maybe. I've wasted so much time. Not doing a single damn thing for myself. And now, who knows what's gonna happen to me? What if
This is it. This is all the time I had.
I see. You're afraid you're gonna die.
Yeah. No use pretending. I'm scared as shit. But I can take it. I don't need you to cry over me.
So, what's your request?
Well, remember our art teacher at school and how he taught us to carve in wood?
I guess I might.
Not really. Well, I do. We were really good at doing it. The best in class. But what matters more, we loved doing it. I loved doing it. Just for myself. After I lost my hand, I started remembering it. Obsessing over it, even. Of all the things I wouldn't be able to do, that one stuck in my head like a fucking nail.
It's normal. You were grieving.
I was miserable as sin. And then when you gave me that new arm up here, you'd think going back to something that made me happy would be obvious, right? Wrong. I wasn't interested in enjoying myself. Well, now I want to change that.
You want to do something just for yourself. I get that.
In a way, yeah. But there's something else. It's way more important.
Oh. A secret project?
I really don't want to talk about it right now, okay?
And where the hell are you gonna get wood?
Well, you seen those tree-like structures in this region? They ain't made of wood, but they sure behave very much like it. I already did a test or two. They're harder, tougher, but so am I, right?
You want to carve that?
If you happen to run into some loose pieces of that rock, yeah, I could give it a try. Of course, I'm gonna need a set of chisels, too.
Okay. I'll keep your request in mind and see what I can do.
Thanks, man.
But you're gonna have to tell me what that secret project's about.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, I found this thing that I took on the mission, and, I thought that maybe it could mean something to you too.
Huh. I remember that mug.
Not bad for an amateur, right? It's the imperfections that make it perfect. Thank you.
How are you settling in? You joined us at a difficult moment.
Difficult. Huh. You got some nerve. I heard about Tabula Rasa. This place is tainted with blood and villainy. I knew it the moment I woke up. This must be hell. I'm worried. Does the technician know what he's doing?
I don't have no pylons. I don't have any fucking organics. I think I'm screwed.
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
All done here. Should I help with this now? I'm kinda out of resources. Want me to work there now?
I'm worried.
Hell do I even do? No way to get resources either.
My workplace just broke down. Should I go work somewhere else? My workplace is damaged. Want me to go there now?
Can't even.
FYI, looks like we're running low on repair kits.
My workplace is damaged. Should I work on this while you're scheduling repairs?
I might need it there.
I hate not knowing what someone is plotting behind my back.
All done here. Should I help with this now?
Hopefully the storm does not last long. I don't have anything I can do. Fuck.
Signs of comfort.
I hate not knowing what someone is plotting. Did you want to talk? Yes, someone should bring it to your attention. Might as well be me. We're close to this planet's magnetic pole, which means that magnetic storms are bound to happen more often here. Well, let's hope we're out of here before the next one hits. I would estimate the probability of that as low. But it's not about us. We can hide in the base, while the rebels are out in the open. The Tur vehicle could have protected them from the first magnetic storm, but it must have suffered severe damage. If you want to find them alive, I suggest you do it before the next storm.
How the hell am I
comes
supposed
our
to
way.
find them?
Noted. Thanks for bringing it up. You're welcome. You know, I still think the technician is an immature, self-centered jerk, but I wouldn't want him to die. Not like that, anyway. It would be very painful. Sure. I get it. Right. I'd better get back to my duties then. Thank you for hearing me out.
Okay. Thinking it's got to be down here is the only place. I don't know. I really don't know.
Noticed that we're running low on repair kits.
Yeah. I noticed it. Okay. Climb over here.
the weird rock mentioned by the miner. I should take it back to him. That light. I need to get there.
Where is it?
I'm done here. Should I do this now?
This hole right there, so I gotta go in here and down there.
Those rocks look like they collapsed recently. There's definitely something on the other side. I can't drill through here. Okay, this looks promising. The light. Almost there. Is that a shelter? There you are. You okay?
closely. That what you want to talk about? I thought I'd never see you again. You got some guts to follow us all the way down here. Don't you get it? The party's over. I got the impression you wanted me to find you. Oh yeah? And what gave you that impression? The light? Why else would you bother with it? It's not for the rescue ship, is it? I wouldn't have made it through the sandstorm without it. Yeah, well... I was pissed at you, but... leaving you out there to your death? I'm not that guy. You're going to die if you stay out here any longer. Anything's better than serving as lab-grown meat for Maxwell's experiments. You're right. It was a mistake to trust him. I learned some disturbing things about his project. To be honest, the man is starting to scare me too. Oh yeah? Tell that to Tabula Rasa. Your mistakes actually have consequences for others. Admitting to them won't take that back. So, you really want to stay out here? How do you intend to survive the sun? In the Tur vehicle? Are you kidding me? That thing is good protection against radiation, but it won't withstand the sunrise. Only a proper shelter will. And this place provides the perfect terrain for one. So that's what you're building. Yeah. And it's no picnic, so why don't you get back to your base and just let me get on with it? Is there anything I can do? Yeah, let it go. Do you have enough food? That's none of your business. You don't have enough food. There's not enough of anything, okay? Are you happy? But I don't want your fucking help. Just go, okay? You're making things worse. Ah, another movie. This one was actually on my pile of shame.
This is not good. those road panics. I have to go out this way. Don't have enough.
Now more.
Alright, I talk to these guys, and it's just, this is a lot crazier than Where's the scientist at?
That's just stupid. They need our help, so why not come and get it themselves?
I found our rebellious party. They're alive. Looks like they have no bad intentions, just want to be left alone. What for? To die in that exploration vehicle? They're building a shelter. Oh, please, spare me the details. They should be putting those skills to use here, helping us, not making a sophisticated grave for themselves. Quitters. I found the tour vehicle.
You found the others? They alive?
Yeah. I talked to the technician, but he wasn't very happy to see me. I get the impression they're struggling out there. I was wondering if maybe we should share some of our supplies with them.
Out of pity? Huh. You think they'd want that?
You tell me.
Well, I think if I was out there, I'd probably want to live, yeah. But what about us in here? What if we don't make it? Maybe we should focus on that.
To the Saber evacuation
take a little break.